Hey, I'm Jason Boyer. I am the next gen pastor at Living Water Church here in Dalton. I just wanted to share with you a little bit of how I've been adjusting, how we've been adjusting as a church here during the coronavirus situation. First off, just from a home perspective, one of the things I can tell you is that uh, I think my kids, I have 4 kids, I think they're all wearing the same clothes every day, and yet somehow we end up with mountains of laundry to do. I can't quite understand that, but between the laundry and the dishes, there's certainly some challenges to all of this stuff, but very grateful just for the opportunity to try and figure this out. I think the schools have worked really hard to make the online schooling work. It was a little tough at the beginning. We started out trying to have like a regimented schedule for our kids, like 9 o'clock, you got to do this, and 10 o'clock. And I don't know if any of you guys experienced this, but there's some things you need to get done in the day, and you can block them out any way you want to, but at the end of the day, those things have to get done. And it's made a little bit of a change for us to the better. Some of the other things that we're doing, we're going through all the Marvel movies, trying to watch them. We got like 24 movies to watch. We're trying to watch them all in order just for something fun to do. My older 2 children and my wife and I started playing the board game Pandemic. There's a game, Pandemic Legacy, that you can play over and over again. We just figured what better time than now to try and learn to play that game. Things about it is, we're all getting a little slower start on our day. And so getting a chance to start out doing some devotions together, just talking together, journaling a little bit in the morning. My wife's got the kids some little journals just to kind of share some thoughts and write them down. And so that's been helpful. As far as emotionally in that goes, I think anytime you're going to spend a long time with the same people, things are going to be magnified. And every single one of us has had our bad moments. Every single one of us has had our bad days. And we've all shed tears. We've all had arguments at different points in time. And I think that part of that is the fact that this is a traumatic event, and any kind of traumatic event has grief associated with it and has loss associated with it. And so part of what we're learning, at least in our family, is that you've got to have more grace to deal with some irrational behaviors. If there's anything I know about grief in the 20 years I've been working with students is that there's some irrationality that comes alongside it. It comes up in odd moments, and you have outbreaks in different moments and flare-ups of your temper and attitude. And we're seeing all that even as you try and do school. And so things are hard, and it's just important to understand that there's more grace that's needed right now, and to just identify it for what it is, and to be able to move past that. Another thing that's been key for my wife and I is we figured this out early on, that we've got to be a little bit more clear with miscommunications. Again, because everything's a little bit amplified, and we can't afford to let things fester and to not deal with things. And so just having some moments where we talk things out when they need to be talked out is really important, because otherwise things can become a hot mess in a hurry. As far as the church, we've got a blessing of having some stuff. We've already been doing online services and things like that long before this ever hit. So it's been really nice to just kind of channel people into something that's already existing there. But we do our services on Sunday morning. We air them 9, 10, and 11 o'clock, and then again at 7 o'clock. And those are aired on Facebook Live. It's aired on lwchurch.live. But I specifically work with students and teenagers. We've put a lot of resources for parents up on our webpage, lwchurch.com, for kids to get involved with and their parents. But the teens, we have an Instagram live meeting that we do every Wednesday night. We've kind of moved youth group to Instagram, and we've had some people in, done some interviews. We've talked about some different things, just kind of help them process this point in time. And then we have a Zoom hangout on Sunday nights where we just get together and we play games online from our homes with one another. So that stuff's been fun. It's different, but I think that we've adapted pretty well. I would say, as far as the things that are really helping me navigate this experience and move from, just the depression of what this is to a place of positivity, just a few things I'm trying to tell myself over and over again. And one of them is that you can still have a focus that goes beyond your home. understanding that there's still impact that you can make in the world. My wife just 2 nights ago was on a Zoom call with about 10 of her college friends that she hadn't talked to in probably 15 years. But this is afforded an opportunity in our life to pause enough to say, hey, let's reconnect with those people. I touched base with a couple of my college roommates just last week too. And again, I haven't talked to them in 10 years or so now. Having the opportunity to connect long distance with family. I think we're all getting a little better at video conferencing. So we've been touching base with family members that are all the way on the East Coast, or they're all the way on the West Coast, and just touching base and getting together, everybody all together in a Zoom call, which is chaotic, but fun at the same time. But other than that, even doing some things for people that you see. We live right on a cul-de-sac, and so this last weekend, my kids and my wife and I, we went out and just sidewalk chalked the whole cul-de-sac and just wrote some positive messages on there, just trying to do what we can to help people get through this time. And we took some drone footage video of it, which was kind of fun as well. But I think that, other things too, where you just can think beyond yourself. Maybe you're in a situation where, you're not out of work, and you could have an opportunity to order dinner for someone that is out of work. Just doing little things to get beyond our own home. I think other than that, I'm trying to help myself understand that I don't have to believe the lie that life is on hold. Yes, there are certain things that we can't do right now, but it is debilitating to our mental health to just assume that the response to that is to sit around and do nothing all the time. And this is part of the coach in me maybe coming out, but I'm challenging my own kids. I'm challenging myself to say, okay, you can't compete in baseball right now, but what can you do to get better? They've taken away your team, they've taken away your field to play on, but there's so many other things that you can do. I've tried to set up a gym in my garage where we can work out, where we can lift weights, we continue to do better. Other thing, read books, do some stuff. I'm reading a book called Atomic Habits. I've been going through it a few times, and it's really helping me to find order to my day, because it's important that we can understand that you can still move forward in life, even in the midst of this. And so I would say, just don't buy into that lie that says everything has to stop now. Everything's been taken away from you. And the other part of that is, it's okay to keep an eye on the future, but you still need to be present. In other words, my wife and I, like everyone else, we're looking at what is the financial impact of all of this? What is this doing to our savings, our investments, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, you can get so focused on that stuff that you miss the opportunities that are there in the present. I think that in some ways I've been a better father. I've been a better dad. I've been a better husband because of the coronavirus, because my attention is being able to be focused on some things that, to be honest, get neglected a little bit more in other seasons of my life. And so trying to focus in on what does it mean to be present, even in the midst of this. Yes, we're all concerned. Yes, we all have uncertainty. But there's certain things that we can do right now that are unique to this situation. And I think it's important for us to lean into those. I think that if anyone's looking for community, we would love to have you check out our church. Do it from the comfort of your own home right now. What better, easier way to get a test run than that? But we'd love to invite you to do that. Again, you can just search Living Water Church on Facebook, or go to lwchurch.live any Sunday morning, and we'd love to welcome you in that capacity.